Hey Hawthorne students, it's Mr. Thomas again. Today I am filming Unit 14, Lesson 3, Parts 1, 2, and 3. Our first activity that we're going to be doing is add that sound. So this is what we were doing before we had our last day, March 13th. So just parents, bear with us. This was something new that we had just started working on. So our first word is ape. Let's finger stretch ape. 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 So if we have ape and we add t to the beginning, let's finger stretch that out. T. A. P. Tape. Next word we have is in. Let's finger stretch in. 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 Let's add w to the beginning. Now we've got w, in, win. Next we have edge, edge. Let's add ul to the beginning of edge. Now we've got ul, edge, ledge. Next we have at, add b at the beginning of at, at, bat. Next we have ache, ache, add t at the beginning of ache, ache, take. Next we have oat, oat, add b at the beginning of oat. Now we have b, oat, boat. Next we have an, an, add f at the beginning of an, an, fan. Next we have axe, axe, add t at the beginning of axe, axe, tax. Next we have itch, itch, add r at the beginning of itch. Now we have r, itch, rich. Next we have egg, egg, add b at the beginning of egg, egg, beg. Next we have eat, eat, add s at the beginning of eat, eat, seat. Next we have eight, eight, add d at the beginning of eight. Now we have eight, date. Next we have on, add r at the beginning of on. Now we have on, run. Next we have ice, ice. Now add n at the beginning of ice, ice, nice. Next we have in, Now add p at the beginning of in, in, pin. Next, stretch out etch, etch. Now add f at the beginning of etch. Now we have etch, fetch. Next we have use, use. Now add f at the beginning of use. Use. Fuse. Next we have add. Add. Add at the beginning of add. Now we have add. Mad. Next we have ill. Ill. Add f at the beginning of ill. Ill. Fill. Next we have at. At. Now add at the beginning of at. Now we have at. Hat. So that concludes Unit 14, Lesson 3, Part 1. Once again, families, that was something that we just got to before we were told we were no longer to come back to school. So that's something that we'll continue to work on as we go. And that's, we normally do the first 2 or 3 times that we do that activity together. So next we're going to be to Unit 14, Lesson 3, Part 2. And we're going to be doing this or that. So we have qua and x. So qua like at the beginning of queen and x at the end of mix. Fox. What sound do you hear in fox? Do you hear qua or x in fox? Fox is correct. Next we have question. What sound do you hear in question? Do you hear qua or x in question? Question is correct. Next we have ox. What sound do you hear in ox? Do you hear qua or x in ox? Ox is correct. Next we have 6. What sound do you hear in 6? Do you hear qua or x in 6? 6 is correct. Next we have quick. What sound do you hear in quick? Do you hear qua or x in quick? Qua is correct. Next we have axe. What sound do you hear in axe? Do you hear qua or x in axe? Qua is correct. Or x, sorry, my bad. Sometimes Mr. Thomas just is making sure they're paying attention, so hopefully you were there. In axe, you do hear x. Quarter. What sound do you hear in quarter? Do you hear qua or x in quarter? You hear qua in quarter. Next, we have quiet. What sound do you hear in quiet? Do you hear qua or x in quiet? Qua is correct. Next, we have max. What sound do you hear in max? Do you hear qua or x in max? That is correct. You hear x in max. Next, we have quail. What sound do you hear in quail? Do you hear qua or x in quail? Quail is correct. Next, we have quilt. What sound do you hear in quilt? Do you hear qua or x in quilt? Qua is correct. Next, we have wax. What sound do you hear in wax? Do you hear qua or x in wax? Wax is correct. Those words that begin with qua, we have queen, question, quick, quarter, quiet, quail, quilt, all begin with qua. Next, over here that end with the x sound, we've got mix, fox, ox, 6, axe, max, and wax. So remember, families, when we're working with the x sound, it's going to be at the ending of the word and not at the beginning. Next, we have the letter Y and the letter F. The sounds Y and F, like Y, like in yes, and F, like in fish. Fireworks. What's the first sound you hear in fireworks? F is correct. Next, we have feet. What's the first sound you hear in feet? F is correct. Next, we have yarn. What's the first sound you hear in yarn? Y is correct. Next, we have yellow. What's the first sound you hear in yellow? Y is correct. Next, we have flower. What's the first sound that you hear in flower? F is correct. Next, we have fence. What's the first sound that you hear in fence? F is correct. Next, we have yawn. What's the first sound that you hear in yawn? Y is correct. Next, finger. What's the first sound that you hear in finger? F is correct. Next, we have yo-yo. What's the first sound you hear in yo-yo? Y is correct. Next, we have yacht. What's the first sound that you hear in yacht? Y is correct. Next is French fries. What's the first sound that you hear in fries? F is correct. Next, we have yogurt. What's the first sound that you hear in yogurt? Y is correct. Those words that begin with the Y sound: yes, yarn, yellow, yawn, yo-yo, yacht, yogurt. Those letters begin with the letter F that make the F sound: fish, fireworks, feet, flowers, fence, finger, fries. Next, we're on Unit 14, Lesson 3, Part 3, and this is called Where's That Heart Word? So some words that the kids that are familiar with that they'll hear are beginning, middle, end, first, next, last, before, and after. So let's read through these three words together, please. We have you, are, do. So families, you'll see three words, but there will be four questions. So each set of words that we have, one word will be used more than once. So with using the words you, are, and do, which word is last? Do is last. Next, which word is before the word do? Are. You have do, and the word before do is are. Next, which word is first? You is first in line. Last question with this set of words. Which word is next in line? You have you. The word that is next in line is are. So families, that's one thing to pay attention when I am asking which word is next. They're always starting at the beginning of the row, and whichever word is next in line is what they'll ask. So you have you, are, do. Our next three words: my and be. Which word is at the beginning of the row? My is at the beginning of the row. Which word is at the end of the row? Be is at the end of the row. Which word is after the word and? B is after the word and. You have and, B is after it. B. Which word is in the middle of the row? And is in the middle of the row. Please read the words with me, please. My and be. Our next set of words. Read them with me, please. The, like, not. Which word is first? The is first. Which word is next in line? So remember, we have the word that's next is like, is next. Which word is last? Not is last in this line, not. Which word is after the word the? Like is after the word the. You have the, and like is after the word the. Please read the three words with me, please. The, like, not. And our last three words that we're going to be working with. Go, to, can. Which word is before the word can? Which word is before the word can? To is before the word can. You have can and to is before it. Which word is at the beginning of the row? Go is at the beginning of the row. Which word is at the end of the row? Which word is at the end of the row? Can is at the end of the row. Which word is in the middle of the row? Which word is in the middle of the row? To is in the middle of the row. Please read these three words with me, please. Go, to, can. So that completes unit number 14, lesson 3, parts 1, 2, and 3. I'll be filming unit 14, lesson 4, part 1, 2, and 3 here in a few hours. I'm going to let unit 14, lesson 3 upload for a while. Hopefully you're enjoying these lessons. If you have any questions or concerns, please email me at robert.thomas@keokukschools.org, or you may contact your classroom teacher through Remind or through the Facebook page, and they can get me a message. Thank you and have a great day.